Hello, everyone. Um, the HSEL team is still in queue currently to get placed with a team. So, for right now, I'm gonna do our little routine plugins. So, on screen is the link to our merch. You guys should check out our merch, support the team, support the players. And then we also have the schedules for other streams and games. So on Mondays at 6 p.m., the WISA Overwatch team have their games streamed. And our next match is the 20th against Two Rivers. Then we have Varsity Rocket League, which is streamed Tuesdays at 4. Their next game is the 21st against Appear. Then we have Fortnite. Their games are streamed Wednesdays at 4:15. They have map pool, or not map pools, sorry. They have team pools, so there's no specific team they're going against, but their next game is the 22nd, which is their 7th week. Rocket League JV are streamed Thursdays at 4 p.m. Their next game is the 23rd against George S. Parker. And then, last but not least, we have the Overwatch HSEL team, which are streamed Thursdays. 6 p.m. is the time period we chose, but there is varying times that could possibly change in the future. But I think we're just going to stick with the 6 o'clock. And currently, this is their game, and then their next game will be the 23rd. I'm going to quickly check to see where they are. There's 3 minutes remaining in the queue. So, while we wait for that, I'll go over the control rules. So, control is a game mode in Overwatch in which both teams attempt to capture the same objective point similar to King of the Hill. They must reach 100% to win, but they constantly swap control and push each other into overtime. The map choices on screen are the ones for WISA, which are just like a couple of the options. I will pull up the HSEL map pool in a second here. The HSE map pool for control maps is Nepal, Lijiang Tower, Oasis, and Busan. And they have set ones each week, and since it's the second week, they play on Nepal. Now there should only be, I think, 2 minutes remaining on the queue. Yeah. I would show the roster, but sadly it's not accurate. I honestly don't think there's only like one player on there that's from the original team. In the meantime, I'll leave the merch store up, and I will try to find the link and post it in chat. Okay, I believe the teams are preparing. They got put in a match. They are going against it's a mess of a name. HSAPF Esports. Currently, they are setting up the lobbies and adding each other. The home team is the other team. So Case will have to wait for them to make the lobby. Which means shortly we should have a game. Apologies for the wait. It does take a bit for HSEL games to get started, and I always start stream too early. But I always feel like I'll miss out on saying all of the rules and whatnot. Okay, they are in the lobby, so I will switch to in-game now. Looks like Case just ran with making the lobby instead of the home team, which is fine, because Case had the lobby set up prior. I love when teams don't know the rules. Okay, well, sadly we're gonna have to wait probably a couple more minutes for this situation to get fixed. In the meantime, I'll go to the be right back screen. Okay, the teams are starting now.
Traveling to Nepal.
I'm hoping this game goes well for Case this week because they have been doing scrimmages for the past 2 weeks, and I think they've been learning a lot and improving a lot recently. So, wishing them the best of luck and hoping we're able to get a win.
Why would you live someplace with snow year round?
Everyone stick together. We can do this.
Case's comp is a little confusing, but I do think it can work. They have Reinhardt for the tank, Moira and Baptiste as supports, and then Mei and Farah as their DPS. The other team does get an early pick on Farah, coming from the support as well. Pace is now down 2 players as their Reinhardt was taken out. I think it's best for them to just pull out, which they are. They are pushing left. Hopefully this gives them a better way in, but the other team has fully rotated already. Shroomski was able to get a pick on the enemy team's support. Hopefully they keep the man advantage. It's a big back and forth. Symmetra's ult does come out from the other team. And she is able to pretty much take out Case's entire team. The Mercy did get a little too cocky there, tried to go in for a kill, and ended up losing that battle and staggered themselves. Meaning Case will have a man advantage for a very short time. Symmetra does seem to be causing Case a lot of problems. Hopefully they will realize that they need to focus her and take care of her more. Looks like Shroomski is going for a kill on her. But I do think he has to get out here, as the rest of Case has pulled out. Actually, no. They don't have time. Hopefully their players will be able to get a touch, which their tank is able to do. Could only hold for so long. I'm not too sure if anyone else gets on point. Sadly, Case was not able to get on, meaning first round goes to the other team. I really hate calling them the other team, but I just cannot figure out the best way to name their team because it's just an abbreviation of something and is a jumble of letters.
This is awesome.
I'm here to support you, but you have to put in the work. Five, four, three, two, one. Round two. Capture the objective.
I still believe we can succeed.
Our enemies approach.
Looks like both teams opted for Ramatra as their tank. Case is continuing with the Genji and Mei, but switched out the BAP for a Mercy. And they still have the Moira. The other team did get a pick on Shroomski, but LW Smith did take out the Symmetra, which I do think will help Case a lot, as that player was a big issue for them. But looks like Case gets taken out of this fight, sadly. They were able to get 25% progress, which is pretty good. But it will take them a bit to regroup, so the team will honestly probably end up at 25% by the time Case can get on point. Valk does come out from Case's Mercy, and she's able to get a res on Case's Ramatra. Case is doing pretty well this fight. They were able to take out 2 of their players. Now they just have to clean up these DPS and the Mercy, but they were unable to. Meaning point continues to stay in the hands of the other team. The other team is at 56%, meaning Case only has, honestly, probably like 3 pushes left. Hopefully they will be able to get some more picks this time around. Hopefully take control of the point. The Mothra ult does come from the enemy team's tank, and Symmetra also uses her ult. That took Case out. They really need to get a touch if possible. They're at 94%. I don't think they'll be able to do it. I don't really know why Moira decided to step back and forth there. And map 1 goes to the other team. I will now update that on stream real quick. And I will be back in one quick second. Sorry about that, I am back. Sorry if I sat out of breath, I just had to run up and down the stairs real quick. Okay. So, next map choice goes to Case, and the next map is a hybrid map, which is when attackers attempt to capture the first point and escort a payload to the end of the map. Defenders try to stop attackers from capturing the point and or stopping the payload movement. Players swap sides after the round, and whoever gets the furthest wins. These map choices are for Wisa, but for HSEL, the hybrid maps are Hollywood, Eichenwald, and Kings Row. Kings Row is a strong map for almost every team, so looks like Case is choosing that map. And the other team gets to choose if they attack or defend. I don't know if they've really discussed that. They might just keep it as it is. Where's in game? There it is. Okay, the other team is staying with attack. And now they are starting. I'm gonna quickly go into do not disturb mode because that may help. We're busy. Maybe that'll stop the notifications of people coming online from happening.
You know, anger management classes might help you with that temper.
Don't curse. Always wanting you to do the work.
Push your limits. Nothing breaks that I cannot mend.
I'd rather wait a century for progress than cause the harm you have.
What a joy
Case
it must be
is going
to
into
feel
this fight
entitled
with
to patience.
Zarya as their tank, Moira and Mercy as their supports, and Hanzo and Torb as their DPS. I feel like this is more of a poke comp, I'd say. Looks like the other team is going up through hotel. Case's tank was able to get a pick on the enemy team's Symmetra, but that Symmetra was rezzed. Looks like the other team is opting to go through main instead of hotel. This team is kind of split pushing, but it is strangely enough working. I don't think Case is looking at their supports, which they need to do to be able to take out that Symmetra and the rest of the team. Looks like that Symmetra was teabagging on point, which was quite toxic, but I don't know if it's enough for us to be able to report them. But it is frustrating that teams do that. Granted, it is a high school esports league. Symmetra is in Case's backline, and their Mercy follows suit. Hopefully Case is able to clean them up, but looks like they're getting taken out. Some Mercy versus Mercy battle, but Case's Mercy does get taken out. 2 kills on both supports for the enemy team's Mercy.
I must return to my post. I have your back.
Asmodeus was able to get a pick on the Symmetra, who did end up getting rezzed, and the Junkrat did kill the Zarya. Rav and Molten Core come out from Case. As well as Dragons, so 3 ults down from Case. Well, I don't think this other team has used any ults so far. Hanzo is trying to look for a pick here, but I don't think he's being given any opportunities to do so. The enemy team Junkrat is just throwing nades in and getting little bits of damage. Tyre and Surge came out from the enemy team. Surge was able to kill, I believe, Case's Mercy. And the rest of the team was able to clean up. But Case's Hanzo was able to stop the Tyre from doing any damage by taking out the Junkrat. Looks like Case switched to a Pharah, and Shroomski ended up taking the Hanzo from LW Smith. Form does come out from Case's Ramatra. Looks like they're trying to get a push off this, as well as Warrior's Cole. Case's Mercy does end up getting trapped, but no one was there to capitalize off of that, thankfully. But she was trapped again. Case is close to having 4 ults. Next fight, they should probably use some to fend off point, as this is the last checkpoint. Case's tank does get taken out. Mercy goes for res and was able to get it, but sadly ended up losing her own life for it. Shroomski used dragons and was able to get a kill, but the enemy team's Harissa used Surge, took out one player, and then Symmetra cleaned up the rest. Jose did end up switching off of Mercy for Ana. LW Smith got a pretty good barrage out, taking out 2 players. But the enemy team Junkrat does get 2 kills with his Tyre, which helped the team to push in, and they were able to push the payload to the last checkpoint.
Switching sides.
I'll find my own path.
Repositioning. I think I can make this worth my time.
Stay in sight, and I'll keep you safe.
Is peanut butter that delicious?
It's peanutty buttery heaven.
but my analysis shows me it's high in trans-saturated fats.
Case is going for a dive comp here. I do think this should benefit them, but I'm not too sure if dive is their strong suit. Hopefully they will still be able to make it work. Case is having quite a successful push in through the choke point currently. But they are pulling out because one of their supports were taken out of the fight. Shroomski seems to be trying to get in as much damage as it can, but is not able to get any kills off of it. This Baptiste was alone, but was able to get out before Case could capitalize on it. I think if Case keeps a good mental and honestly punishes this team for getting a little too cocky and kind of trolling, they should be able to get through this. Because there's no reason why that Baptiste should have been frontlining. Looks like Case is struggling with these turrets, which are honestly their demise.
Gaining altitude. Enemy in sight.
Baptiste was in hotel once again, but he is pretty good at getting out immediately as soon as danger is shown. That was not the sentence I meant to say, my brain just stopped working. My apologies. The enemy team's Mercy does get a kill on the Pharah. Sigma's ult does come out, took out both of Case's supports. Case is having a hard time getting on point and staying on point. They're able to get through the first, like, choke point pretty easily, but as soon as it comes to, like, battling on point, they just seem to fall apart.
60 seconds remaining.
Case now has 60 seconds to get on point, capture it, which will then grant them more time as they push the payload. Barrage does come from Case's aura, but they don't get any kills off of it, though I do think it got some good damage out. Case has 15 seconds remaining. All that remains on point is their tank. Currently using ult, trying to push the team off. LW Smith does need to fly down, get on point for a touch, but did not get down in time. Meaning map 2 also goes to the other team.
Play of the game.
While we wait for Case to choose what map, I'll go over the game mode rules. So The next game mode is Escort, where attackers attempt to move a payload to different points throughout the map. Defenders try to stop the attackers from moving the payload to the points. Players swap sides, and whoever moves the payload the furthest wins. So it's pretty much just a second half of Hybrid, but it's that way the entire map. That's why Hybrid's called Hybrid, because it is a mix of Escort and Control. So the map choices up on the screen currently are a few of the maps, which are for Reese's map pool, but for HSEL's map pool, it is Watchpoint Gibraltar, Dorado, and Circuit Royale. Looks like there is a little bit of a break here. In the meantime, I will show the merch link. You should buy our merch. It will support the team and support whoever you are watching for. Knowing them that you care and you're like, hey, look, I'm wearing your merch. That sounded terrible. My brain stopped functioning halfway through that. I'm losing my mind progressively. I'm so sorry. Okay, the other team looks like they're continuing with attack. I do think they will be starting soon here. If the other team does get one more win, then they win the series. But hopefully Case will be able to clutch up this game and push it into the next game.
Welcome to Circuit Royale.
I'm so rusty on shoutcasting. I'm so sorry. I was not prepared for this today. Oh, I was so confused. I was like, why is the support playing DPS? It's just because the game did not start yet.
From imperfection, we build a new world.
You're strong enough
Ace's
to lead,
team
Talon.
comp is
They can't trap
Sigma as their tank,
I am not
Moira and
trapped.
Baptiste
My
as
clothes
their
give me everything I
supports,
need.
and
I
Symmetra
thought this
and
scene was
Ashe
too long.
as their DPS.
Can one know that one knows nothing?
Hopefully this Symmetra will maybe be able to counter the other Symmetra by mirroring.
It thrills me.
Kind words. Thank you.
Could maybe take out some of the other team, such as the supports that are keeping up that Symmetra so much.
One. Attackers incoming. Stop the payload.
Barrier is nearly spent.
Shroomski did come close to getting a kill on the enemy team's Baptiste, and was able to take out the Ashe. A little bit of an Ashe stiff there. Looks like Case and this other team have a pretty similar composition. This Mercy is trying to go for a kill on the Ashe. but was unable to. I think Ash is gonna go for this Baptiste, but is forced to back out. Case's Mora does get taken out, leaving Case with only one support, which is quite tough for a big battle here, and means Case is down man advantage, except not anymore, because Shrimpsky was able to take out the other Ash, who was res, and now they have the man advantage instead of Case. I think all that remains is LW Smith, who was taken out.
Group up here.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
Case might try to set up for a high ground here, which I'm not too sure how much that will end up benefiting them. This other team is pushing pretty quickly, and Case is giving up a lot of room. Seems like they are having a hard time focusing targets. Sigma ult does come out from Case. Got no picks. Baptiste's window comes out, as well as Immortality Field. Case was able to get a team kill there, I believe. Not an official one, but I do believe they took out all of the players.
Someone has to keep you alive.
Seems like this DPS Baptiste is working. Ryan Shattered does come out from the other team. The Mercy gets res off on the Reinhardt. Mercy res has a very weird range. Looks like Case's Baptiste got a little bit separated from his team there, which resulted in him dying. This other team is going for Case's supports a lot. I do think Cole should be used here more defense than offense. Heal up the team as most of them were low there. Sigma's ult does get 2 kills for Case, and Sigma was able to clean up the last player. The other team is really close to getting this next checkpoint, so hopefully Case will be able to remain on point and set up well enough where they have the opportunity to take care of the other team before they can push any further. They are trying to go for this high ground once again, but they do keep trying to sim TP. Maybe it was just use a distraction this time. Bap window does come out from the other team. Case's Ana is taken out, but the enemy team's Baptiste was taken out. But the Mercy was able to get a res off. Case did use Bob, which will hopefully get some damage in, but they're shredding him too quickly, so he could only stall for so long.
No opposition is insurmountable.
Case's Sigma does have ult. He may use it this next fight here. Seems like Case is getting better at taking care of these turrets. This Junkrat here is getting a bit greedy, but is getting pocketed by this Mercy, so Case was not able to get the pick. Case's Moira was taken out by the enemy team Junkrat. Sigma's ult does come out and takes out the enemy team's Junkrat, who has been a big problem for Case's supports. But looks like that was not enough. And Case was taken out of the fight. Case was able to get a touch, but I don't think it's enough. Case now has to push the payload all the way to the end. Hopefully they end up with more time than the other team, so that when it goes into the third round of this map, they'll have just a little bit more time to push the payload.
Shed the weight of your doubts, and your mind will become clear.
I could have rebuilt you without all that metal.
And left me a monster, like other creations?
That is a matter of perspective.
Fruition comes from within, as does failure.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I do believe Case is going for a dive comp here, with D.Va as her tank, Genji and Tracer as their DPS, and for supports they have Zenyatta and Moira. Case's D.Va was demeched quite early in the battle. The Symmetra did come from the side and got quite a bit of damage on the Genji, but the Junkrat ended up taking out Shroomski. The Symmetra is still causing a lot of problems for Case, taking out most of their players. Hopefully Case will have a good push this next fight. This Mercy will probably be able to get a res on the Sim. Or not. Guess it was too dangerous, but Case is able to get a little bit of movement here from that. Case's Moira and Tracer were both taken out. Case sadly has a player disadvantage right now and has to pull out of the fight. Junkrat did place a trap right out of spawn. Hopefully no one in Case gets trapped by it. Case does switch off a dive comp, opting for a Reinhardt instead. Going for a little bit more of a brawl. Case's Reinhardt is trying to take care of this Mercy, but she is staying just outside of his range. Trying to get a res, but was not able to, getting punished for it. Junkrat was taken out by Case's tank. Casey's tank is putting in a lot of damage right now, forcing the Ramacha to pull out. This allowing Case to get even more progress with the payload. The Smasher does take out Case's tank. Ramacha ult did come out, but Shrimsky was able to take down the Ramacha before he did any big damage. All that remains is Case's supports. But Junkrat did take out almost all of the players there. Shadow does come out from Case's Rhine. Case has 25 seconds remaining to push the payload to the next checkpoint to get more time. Case has 3 ults. One being used now from Bastion. Looks like they're able to get no picks off of that. Barbara does get a kill on the enemy team's Baptiste, who does end up getting rezzed. Window did come from the enemy team's Baptiste. Case is not paying attention to these turrets, which is getting a lot of damage on them. And the game goes to the other team. Okay, they're definitely getting reported. Okay. Gotta love high school esports.
Welcome to Circuit Royale.
Okay. Well, I will wrap up the stream here. Sadly, that team acted the way they did. As always, okay, I think they're being toxic in our Twitch chat too. Okay, they're getting reported so hard. If you would like to support us, I'm so sorry, there's so many, like, notifications going on. If you would like to support us, please consider buying our merch. It helps us out with all of our costs and whatnot. And then we also have our other game schedules. So for the WISA Overwatch team, which the team I am on, aka our varsity Overwatch team, our next game is the 20th against Two Rivers. That will be streamed Monday at 6 p.m. Then we have Rocket League Varsity. They have their game streamed Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Their next game is the 21st against Appear. Then we have the Fortnite team. There's 3 of them. They are streamed Wednesdays at 4:15. Their next game is the 22nd. They are pools of teams, so no one specific team. We have JV Rocket League. Their games are streamed Thursdays at 4 p.m. Their next game is the 23rd against George S. Parker. They did just have a game tonight at 4 p.m., but I don't know what the result was. And then we have this team that you just watched, the Overwatch HSEL. Their games are streamed Thursdays. Should be 6 p.m. unless there is like a rare chance we do one of the other start times. And their next game is the 23rd, which is the 3rd week of HSEL. And I believe that is all. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for supporting the team. Appreciate it a lot. And see you guys next week.